Hey y'all, what's going on? Wakanda forever.
Word.
Facts. I just don't do that. It's so cool anyway.
Don't need an excuse.
So can I do a new piece for y'all? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Still new. It's been heavy on my heart. It's called "Do the Dishes." It's a conversation about that me and my mom had a couple months ago. Just to brief everybody, my mom grew up totally different from what I grew up, so it's a vast difference. So we just had a chat about it, so I'll get to it. When my mother's pupils become all soapy as they wash over me, it dawns on me that all of my chores are still a flooded sink lodged in her memory. That would explain. Well, every time I come over, she would ask me to do the dishes. I say, "No, Ma, I'm good." And she laughs at the truth, scrubbing at the root of her mouth. I watch her words float out like bubbles. And she says, "Lauren, I don't know how you made it. Most people that come from where you come from don't make it." And that's when silence starts to prepare a plate for itself to sit at the table with us. How it wraps itself in aluminum foil around a to-go plate for me to take home as food for thought for my mind to digest. All that is interrupted by my mother lighting a cigarette. I watch the smoke dance on stage air until it is gone. It reminded me of how I hate smelling like smoke, as if my childhood didn't burn cigarette holes in my memory. The truth is, it's a sweet, flowery aroma of white lies as I douse my clothes in perfume to try to mask the smell of it. How it always could distract the senses before the truth sinks in. That my rage is the only thing that kept me from burning up alive. At the same time, sent smoke signals to the hellhounds nipping at my ankles during anger management meetings. How I often shadow boxed with God when both parents were absent. How I had questions that I really wanted him to answer. They say if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. I ask, if a spoiled child doesn't have a rotten spirit to throw in the battle, then what? How it has sampled these hard knock life lessons to record the blueprint from God sampling his parent skills, the only way to teach life to an orphan, I guess. Which is the only reason why the first Jehovah I met witnessed that it ain't no love in the city. When my mom's pipe dreams cracked under the white horse's relapse to sobriety. When I first met my father at 14, how he was window shopping for forgiveness or acceptance. I was a mannequin on display when child support was in fashion. And that's why it seems like I don't need nobody. Like I can do it all by myself. This is how I've become making habits in these ripped jeans, and I made them a fashion statement. I counted on myself when everybody stopped counting. It's funny how they all are counting on you now when you're the only one left. So let's cue in the cymbals that are simmering at the accent of change. Bring in the drums that will guide us into a new measure of life. This is the part where the horns crack open my survival kit. This is where the bass guitar will groove my pain into a two-step and an octave above basic, because I'm celebrating me for once. I'm looking back at everything that happened and understanding that it is not a product of regret or fault, but it is just a pure result of me bolting through a breakthrough unscathed, singing every word, so come dance with me. For every time I fell and came up swinging like an Ali bumblebee. For all of my dreams that become a spoiled comic joke are the heroes that I marvel at in the middle of DC. For all of my friends that I found snaking around my grass, shedding new skin before success bloomed. How it reminds me of my uncle's lessons back in the garden. The only way to kill a snake is to cut his head off. That way you can't see where it's headed. And because of that, on the eve of my genesis, you can't even have an atom around my harvest fruit. This is for every time my grandmother became an intercessor in the kitchen because she wanted God to cross me up at the intersection. For every coffee that my grandfather made me with crippled hands brewing of protection, he is the reason why I sip coffee at 4 a.m. unbothered in the middle of a hurricane warning. Because no matter what punches life may throw, how they may weather, but can't knock me out of season. Even if I fall, I spring forward. I am the undisputed champion of the suicidal comeback. I am the recorded queen of clapbacks with the cafeteria scars to prove it. How they groove my pain in deep song, only that my soul lives by. How I am an unmastered massacre on vinyl, so don't play me. As I spin the table of this conversation, I realize that all of my dishes are clean. That the dishwasher is nothing but an automatic cycle of life's lessons learned. That doing the dishes is not just a chore, but a lesson for overcoming. And the next time my mother asks me to do the dishes, I will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So,
You're done. No more.
No, I love you guys. So I believe Hydra's next? Is Hydra you back up?
Nah.
Who's back up?
Valentina.
Valentina Esco. Yeah, Valentina's coming back to the stage, y'all. Thank y'all so much for having us. It means the world to us. Thank you.